Hi guys, this is Chris. Welcome back to a new video. Today I'm comparing two high-end maple sets from Pearl. The Masters Maple and the Masters Maple Pure. Enjoy! Last year Pearl updated its entire Masters series and introduced the new Reference 1 kit. The Reference 1 video is linked below. There are currently 3 Masters kits available. Below the Reference 1 is the Masters Maple Gum, which is strongly reminiscent of the legendary shell construction of the Gretsch USA drums. Today I have the two kits with maple shells here, the Masters Maple and the Masters Maple Pure. So let's find out what they can do. Both kits have the sizes 22 by 16 bass drum, 10 by 7 and 12 by 8 toms, as well as a 16 by 16 floor tom. The bass drums do not have a mount, which means you need some kind of tom stand or combination stand. For the tom holders, Per Europe sent me the familiar pipe style arms this time, but you can also order all kits with the R2R mount for the new Gyrolock L arm holders. Pearl has significantly standardized the hardware features as part of the revision of the Masters series. All Masters kits are now equipped with cast hoops on the toms. There are also new SP330 bass drum spurs and slightly simpler brackets on the floor toms, as can be found on the Session and Professional series, which are around half the price, by the way. So here are some comparison pictures of my Masters Maple Gum set from the previous generation. This makes it obvious that Pearl has introduced new features with the R2R mount, but at the same time with rising prices has also reduced features elsewhere. To be honest, I think that's a bit of a bummer. The brackets and the new telescopic legs undoubtedly do their job, but don't feel as high-end, if you know what I mean. I also got the matching 14 by 6.5 snares to both sets, but they are not included in the price, nor is the rest of the hardware or the tom arms that you can see in the video. Each set comes with a bass drum pillow, 3 floor tom legs and a tuning key. And that's it. The snares are fitted with the long CL bridge type lugs, both drums are also fitted with cast hoops and the rather simple SR017 throw-off mounted. Like all Masters drums, the snares are fitted with stainless steel tuning screws. The Masters Maple Pure drums are painted in the color Matte Olive Burst, a premium finish. Here a 5mm 4-ply shell is combined with 4-ply reinforcement rings on top and bottom. This construction first appeared in the Pearl catalog under the MMX label. Most recently the shells were sold under the name Masters Maple Reserve. With the Masters Maple, Pearl goes even further back in time. The 6-ply shell with a wall thickness of 7.5mm was first used in the 1980s. The shell has no reinforcement rings and according to Pearl aims for drums with a focused sound and impact. Our test kit has the high gloss cobalt fade metallic finish, which looks really great for my taste. All drums are provided with Remo Ambassador coated / clear heads on the toms and Powerstroke 3 heads on both sides of the bass drum. So let's start with the sound files. I tried to set both sets to almost identical tunings. First comes the medium low tuning, then a higher tuning. Okay, before comments like "I can't hear any difference at all" come up, please take a pair of headphones and listen to it again, not just on your phone, because there are definitely differences, despite the otherwise identical drum heads and hardware. And I must admit, both sets are definitely fun to play. I noticed right away that I'm sitting behind high-end drums that have tight attack, rich bass, and simply sound wider or rather more room-filling than the regular mid-level shells or entry-level kits that I get to review here. Now to the differences with the Masters Maple Pure shells, I noticed that they are a lot thinner, they vibrate more and also react more with each other in the set. And they also have a little more bass. And the sympathetic snare bass is also stronger within the kit. And especially when lifting the bass drum or the floor tom, you notice that the drums are lighter. On the other hand, the Masters Maple shells have more projection due to their thicker wall thickness. They sound more separated, which I personally like, but are still very sensitive and dynamic. And especially the bass drum of the Masters Maple sounds a little brighter and plays really great. And both sets have a very high tuning range. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily tune a 22-inch bass drum with pre-damped heads super high, but with the toms you can hear that they sound rich and full and clean even when tuned high. The cast hoops provide a focused sound, and if you dampen them, the small toms in particular quickly become very dry. Here's an example. So you don't need much damping at all. And what I also enjoyed is the full but controlled sustain of all 6 toms. A few words on the snare drums. Both Masters snares have a crisp response with very lively and present overtones due to the cast hoop and the rather sharp edge. Rim shots sound crisp and rim clicks very pronounced. And it is difficult for me to name a favorite among the two. In recent years I've become more and more attracted to thick walled shells, and the Blue Masters Maple snare does indeed sound a touch clearer, but it's hard to say. I wouldn't dismiss one or the other. With the coated ambassador heads you can hear quite well what the shells are capable of in terms of tuning range and general overtone behavior. And with the Masters Maple, which sounds less jazzy than the Maple Pure, I thought the whole time that it would also sound good with 2-ply heads on the toms. So here's one last sound file with some of my favorite Evans heads. Black Onyx 2-plies on the toms and a UV1 single-ply better head on the snare. Okay, time for my conclusion. Both sets are fantastic instruments, very well crafted, with a great tuning range and sensitive response. As I already mentioned, the Masters Maple Pure is more resonant and has a little more bass. The Masters Maple, on the other hand, sounds more focused and tighter, and the drums are more separated within the set, which makes it ideal for studio applications. Funny side note, I had a vintage Pearl MLX set until 2 years ago, and this Masters Maple here sounds similarly powerful but much more airy and modern. But the sets have their price. Currently they are being sold for 4,400 for the Masters Maple in custom finish and 3,999 for the Masters Maple Pure in the premium finish. And that's not exactly cheap for 4 drums without any accessories. But if you look at the prices of other manufacturers like Ludwig, Sonor, Yamaha, a lot of the kits that have been sold around 3K a few years ago have gone up to way above 4K now. So they're in the normal range nowadays. The snares are also great, but with prices of over 800 to 900 euro, there are absolutely no bargains either. In addition, keep in mind that Pearl has serious competition in-house with the Session Select and Professional series, and these are also good sounding sets, some of which cost less than half the price of one of those kits here. Of course, if you really want the best, also in terms of looks, or if money is no issue for you at all, you can't ignore the Master series. So that's it for today. What are your opinions? I'm looking forward to read your comments. I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye!